Because they told me I cannot understand.
Okay.
I can if I read it
It's Pearl.
Pearl. Okay. Oh, so it's easy.
Yes.
Yeah, Pearl. It's like this
The
jewelry.
jewel. It's
Yeah.
the jewel.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Well, hello, Pearl.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm good. And you?
Very well, thank you, and welcome to the U.S.
Thank you. The convention is just great. It's very good organized, and we saw just now the first speaker. The presentations was really interesting, and level of the speakers is really high. So thank you for this event. You organize these events every year.
Yes, we have an annual convention every year, and we usually go from one side of the country to the other to give everybody an opportunity to attend.
What about Alaska?
No, we have not been to Alaska. We're going to Denver, Colorado next year.
Okay. And it's really a difficult task to organize all the electrologists together, so because they feel like competitors.
Yes.
But here we can see that it's very good event because they are all they feel that they are colleagues.
Yes, exactly.
How did you do that?
Well, over the years, the American Electrology Association is over 60 years old.
Yes.
It's a very old organization. But what you have to do when you're trying to get the electrologists together is to have them to understand that you're not competitors. You are associates. You work together and help one another. We all have our expertise, level of expertise in different things. Our learning curve is different. And we can be supportive and helpful to one another rather than to look at it as being competitors to one another.
Mm-hmm.
So when we have events like this, when you can get a speaker to come in, that enables them to get together. And you will find that the various electrologists will have more in common rather than different.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing would be to do is to organize and have individuals to come together and sit and talk.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a very good job. Well, and what else do you do as association?
As an association, we actually have seminars. Besides the seminars, each association, we have about 30 states that have their own little affiliates within that state. So within your country, you could have, for the city, or depending on how the country is divided up, communities, you could have electrologists in that group city to get together and sit down and talk, share their ideas. We're organized, each one of the affiliates has a president, treasurer, secretary, officers. And then they have the members in the area to belong to the organization. They pay annual dues, which you need the money to support the business. And that's a start. So you get that. Now, is this profession licensed in your country?
No.
Okay, there's no licensure. So, is there any overseer? What about the government in any kind of way? Do they require any specific type of training or anything to be an electrologist?
No, it's a difficult question because it's not regulated. Nobody can say exactly if it's medical treatment or not medical, because medical Ministry of Medicine consider it medical,
Right.
But this profession actually included in the category of non-medical profession, just simple treatments like hairdresser,
right,
and everything like this. So even this question is not solved.
Right, well, okay. But in some states here in the United States, you have to have 600 hours of training. There are other states like Massachusetts and Connecticut, you have to have 1,200 hours of training to become an electrologist. But these are licensed states.
1,200 hours. Yes, but you haven't to be a doctor to do this treatment in the USA.
No, you don't have to be a doctor to do the treatment. Some areas is just like where you live. Anybody can purchase a machine and do the treatment. Where I live, I'm in Illinois, you have to be licensed.
And what is licensing?
License, I had to go to school for 600 hours. And they train me, teach me how to do insertions, how to do a consultation, ask the right questions to see if I can figure out why my client is coming to me. And oftentimes we try to have a doctor relationship so that we can refer the client to a doctor so that they can be properly treated if they do need some kind of medical treatment to help control the excessive hair growth.
Yes, this is the really good way of
Yes.
doing. Yes. So the electrologist must be able to see the problem with health if it presented. Yes.
Right.
And refer to the doctor.
Right. Now, we cannot diagnose. I cannot look at a woman and say, oh, you have PCOS.
Yes.
Or you have hirsutism. That's not my job.
Yes.
And so I can look at them and say, you need to go to see a doctor. And if I have one that I can refer them to, then I will.
Okay. And well, when you got trained, what do you need to get the license? You give some documents to some government.
Right. In Illinois, what we do is once you've gone to school and you completed your hours, you submit that information to the state and you apply to take the test, and you have proof that you have completed the 600 hours that are required. And in Illinois, we only have a written exam. I would love to see it where we had to have a practical exam. Practical meaning that you know how to do a good insertion. Practical exam helps you to work with the client. So
Yes.
we don't.
Practice is the most important part of
Right,
of
and what you're doing.
electrolysis.
Because in my opinion, anybody could study a book
Yeah.
and memorize the questions and pass a written test. But for the practical, you need to actually know how to perform the service, how to do an insertion, how to stretch the skin, where to sit, how to position the client. All of this is very important.
Yes, and who issues the license? The association or
No,
government?
the government. The
And
state.
they take the exam.
Right, the government.
I
Now,
know.
my association, the American Electrology Association, we have a certificate called the CPE. It's a
Yes.
Certified Professional Electrologist.
Yes.
That certificate is only available to an individual who has been practicing for more than 1 year. And they have to take another test, a written test, to prove that they know what they're talking about.
Yes, this exam is really difficult,
Right.
complicated, and really deep. It includes deep knowledges of skin and health and
then
body.
electricity. You have to
And
know
electricity,
something about
yes,
electricity
sure.
because we have to know how much electricity that the machine is emitting.
Mhm.
And based on the amount of current, that determines how comfortable that treatment might be. Because if you've got a high voltage of current going in up in the upper lip, that can be very uncomfortable. So you have to learn how to use the machine, how to adjust it, and to understand electricity.
Yes. Okay. And as I know, there are quite a lot of states that has no licensing.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
so anybody can buy a machine, purchase, and start doing treatment anytime.
Exactly. Anyone can buy them. If you're in an unlicensed state, you can buy a machine and start practicing. The problem is, it gives the profession of electrolysis a bad reputation because you've got so many electrologists out there that really don't know what they're doing. They're not as effective as they should be when they're working with the public. And that's one of our concerns, is that you need to be perfect. You need to be perfect almost to do what you're doing. And you want to protect your client. Sterilization is big. It's very important to know that the equipment that you're using is sterile. Your needles should be disposable needles. You shouldn't be using a needle that you wiped off with alcohol.
Sometimes they use they sterilize needles themselves.
Needles are not sterilizable. They're one-time use. They should be one-time use and disposed of immediately after the client. You shouldn't even be using the same needle on the same client.
What can you say about sometimes they use the like tiny wire. They cut, they sterilize it. It's like
A coil?
yes. They cut a little piece, sterilize it, and then put in the prop holder and use as.
I've not seen that, and that's because that's where you are. They may do that, but
sometimes.
Yeah, in the U.S.
Not
we don't
everybody,
do.
of
I don't know of anybody that does that, and I hope they're not doing it.
Yeah. Can you tell us some funny case from your practice or from I don't know from your?
Something funny.
Yeah.
Well, the first funny thing is, because I knew so many women as a young woman coming up that had excessive hair on their face, I thought I was going to be extremely busy. And translate that into dollars, I thought I was going to get rich quick. Well, surprise, surprise, surprise. Most of the people that you think are going to come to you, they're not going to come to you. Most of the people you think are going to be very sufficient and come on a regular basis and persistently follow up and do the work, they're not going to do it. So you're going to find that you will be better off working with people that you don't know rather than people you know. Family and friends, maybe, but when you're looking at friends that you feel people that you think are going to come to you because what you're doing is going to be beneficial to them, you may not reach those people. So that was the surprise to me. I wouldn't consider it to be funny, but it was a surprise to me. Most of the time, I have situations where people don't want to lie down to get the treatment. They want you to sit up. They want to sit up while you do the treatment. So you're going to have people that come in. They have all types of idiosyncrasies. That's habits, things that are normal to them, but are not normal to you or me.
Okay. Well, thank you. We want to thank you, and if you want to say something to your colleagues in Russia and Ukraine, you can do it now. Okay.
I would like to see my colleagues in Russia and the Ukrainian area to continue to work at being good electrologists, seek good training, and ongoing continued education.
Okay. Thank you, and maybe next year, maybe we will be not alone here. Maybe some other people will come also with us, electrologists from our countries.
And knowing that we're going to be in Denver, Colorado next year at the Colorado Rockies, it's another Gaylord Hotel. Probably it's brand new. Okay. We will be there, and it's the end of October.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. My pleasure.
Goodbye.